listening to the Built to Grow podcast.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Built to Grow podcast. My name is Randy Angston, and I'm going to be your host for today. As some of you may know, I have the pleasure of working with our clients in our coaching program on their mindset. When we say mindset, it could be everything from the way that they look about their roles and responsibility in the business, to maybe the abundance versus scarcity mindset, to everything to the structure of their day, what they desire out of their business, their daily habits, the routines, all sorts of aspects all over the place. And throughout some of that work, I put this episode together because obviously our goal here is to help you win and help you grow your business. And so what I've done is I've put together five things you can do personally to help grow your business. I thought this was perfect for early 2022, right? We should be setting some goals and getting into setting up the year for success if we haven't done so already. So I want to dive into these 5 things, give you guys kind of just some bullet points and some things that we can work on. But ultimately, these are things that I've developed for myself over the years, or I've had passed along from either other coaches, other mentors that I've had in my life. But these 5 things have greatly impacted the way that I've done business. I've passed them along to clients of ours for some time now, and they've seen the results. But I want to pass these along to you so that you can take them and you can see some wins from them today. So first and foremost, obviously, I want you to make a conscious decision that for 2022, you're going to work on yourself and to bettering yourself. And what I mean by that is the way that you look at your business, the way that you operate your business, much like an athlete or heck, even like, an executive for major corporations and so forth, they don't get there by accident. They don't just fall into the position and all of a sudden have the ability to perform at these high levels. There's certain things that they've done their entire lives, sometimes in a daily routine, that have allowed them to get to this place, this level of success. And so first and foremost, I want you to just make the decision that this year you're going to do more to actually work on yourself and your performance and what you bring to the table. Now, this is going to help your business grow because you're going to be a more effective leader. You're going to find your passion. You're going to care. Maybe you're going to have better time management and have a little bit more time in your schedule. Some of these are, these are just some of the benefits, but those are going to spill over into the other areas of life as well. And so one of the things that I love about working on your mindset is it's not always limited to the business development. It really spans across all pillars of life. And so I guess we'll just dive in and get started on some of the actual bullet points themselves. So making the conscious choice. What I mean by that, I want you to focus or make some decisions on where you want to put your, where you want to put your focus. Developing a little bit more self-awareness or discipline. Ultimately, you should be looking internally and trying to find faults, things that you might not necessarily know about or like about yourself, or areas that you know that you can improve from your own desires. If you know that you're perpetually late or habitually late, work on promptness, work on being more diligent about when you're showing up, your time management, things like that. One of the big things that's really prevalent right now is emotional intelligence, the ability to respond as opposed to react, the ability to remain solutions focused instead of stuck on a problem. All of this comes from emotional intelligence. So there's a ton of things that you can go source for information on how to gain or grow your emotional intelligence. Journaling is a big part of it for self-exploration, right? If you're looking for areas to improve or areas to work on yourself, do some journaling. Get to know yourself a little bit better. But this is ultimately the decision to make, to source information and then obviously apply the action that follows. But books, podcasts, there's courses you could take, there's workshops that you can take. Maybe it's at a local church, or maybe it's working at, like just anything in the community. Just putting yourself in the place of development is really ultimately what I want to see, or I would love to see for you for 2022. A little bit more specific. How about building and controlling your morning routine and your evening routine? Now, for me, this is everything. Tim and I have talked about this in our podcast a number of times. Tim, obviously, his biggest thing for him is if he doesn't hit the gym in the morning, he feels like his whole day is messed up. I completely agree. It's a massive part of my morning routine as well. But I've got other things that I'm very habitual about that I feel lead to the best version of me, then carrying on through the rest of the day. And really, that's ultimately what this is about, is it's setting yourself up to have the best day possible, from whether it be performance, awareness, whether it be, energy levels, all of it. It's working towards being the best version of yourself. And so setting up your morning routine, in my opinion, is absolutely crucial. Any high level athlete, those with in business, anybody I've always looked up to, or anybody who's attained a level of success that I've looked into, I would say the majority of them have very strong routines, but morning routines being a big proponent for a lot of them. Now, why I like the morning routine is because, you're going into your day. I know there's a lot of people that aren't morning people, and that's perfectly fine. And so if your evening is really where you get that opportunity to set some boundaries and structure, then really just nail down your evening routine. But at the end of the day, if you have a morning routine, then I would use the end of your day to celebrate wins. This is the opportunity to reflect on the day, look at where your opportunities and your successes came from, but then also reflect on the day in a way to lay out those opportunities of change and growth, and then start to set up your next morning. And so if you can string along days like that, you're going to start to find you're going to accomplish a hell of a lot more, a lot quicker, sooner. Your time management is going to become a little bit easier, because you're going to start to find that you're condensing your workload. So I'm a big proponent for a morning routine and an evening routine as well. Along with your morning routine, another big tool or resource that I love is time blocking. So I've mentioned it recently on the podcast. It's very difficult throughout our days to try and mitigate the stress and the fires and the 911 moments and things like that when you're running a business. And in order to be the best version of yourself, you really need to apply as much control to your time and your day as you can. With that being said, there's always things that are outside of our control. And so understanding that in those moments, you have to be able to reframe and control, again, that emotional intelligence and be able to respond accordingly. But ultimately, time blocking is going to allow you to be the most effective in those periods of time as possible. And what I mean by that is, if you know that, you're on the training floor from 6 to 7, and then you've got an hour from 7 to, or excuse me, maybe 2 hours from 7 to 9, where your morning slows down and you're typically doing your office time or things like that. I would block your schedule to ensure that the tasks that you need to get done be as specific as possible. And so, office time then becomes responding to emails. Maybe one of the things that we always put first or earlier in our day is income producing activities. So if it's returning sales calls or questions, if it's getting, following up with declined credit cards or collections, things like that, those are priority because that's income producing activities. Then that way you don't have tasks that get pushed off that, become, money making opportunities. You're not pushing that stuff off till the following day sometimes. But time blocking is crucial. Prioritizing your day based on importance. One of the best ways I've found about going about this for business owners is to go through your entire day and just journal each of the activities that you do throughout your day. So when you're jumping in and you're getting that office time, keep a note, keep a log of what activities specifically you were doing. Was it following up on customer service stuff? Was it calling, other businesses to set up JV partnerships? Was it working with a lead agency on a new lead campaigns? Whatever it may be, write all those tasks down and then prioritize them. And then make sure that you're putting the most important tasks at the head of your day, ensuring that those tasks are getting done first. Another habit that I like to do is to run at those things that we hate, right? So those moments of adversity, those challenges throughout our work day, workload, if there's those tasks that you typically push off for Friday, make it that Monday task. What better feeling could you have than knowing Monday morning you were able to knock out the task that you typically spend all week dreading? I would much rather not have 5 additional days of stress all around the same thing and just knock it out in day one. So time blocking, and then, run at adversity within that. And I think that you'll find you're accomplishing a hell of a lot more with that and your morning and evening routines. This one's kind of fun. This one's building your tribe. So you've probably heard that term. It's been around for a while now, but building your tribe. And what I mean by that is finding other business owners that are like-minded, finding other individuals, maybe even outside of your industry. I can tell you personally, I've got a few friends that are in different industries. One of them's in construction, another one's in landscape design, another one's in apparel and retail. And on the regular, at least once a week, we're conversing and we're talking business. How every topic under the sun, whether it be marketing, whether it be sales, whether it be, customer service issues or things like that. Sometimes it's just off the cuff. Like, what was the last week of your work like? What came up? But it just becomes this like normal conversation. And then we're able to help and source change. We help each other with problems. We're always supporting each other. It's nice, Monday morning you get a group text or a text from a group of friends and everybody's on the same page, and they don't have to be people within your organization, right? And so I highly suggest having what we call your tribe, but a group of individuals with a similar focus, similar mindset, similar beliefs, and share problems, share solutions, talk about your growth, talk about your fears, talk about, let's share it all. It brings me to my last one, and that's invest in yourself. And this is where I'm telling you to put your money where your mouth is. It doesn't have to be big and it doesn't have to be a lot of money, but there is something about putting, pen to paper, making something real, much like the commitment we're asking our clients to make with us and trust us in fitness. I'm asking you to find somebody to trust with your, mindset, your personal growth this year, whether it be a coach or a mastermind. Maybe it's a religious leader in your area, and it doesn't have to be a physical investment. Time is a perfectly viable investment, barter, whatever it may be, but make a commitment, a real commitment, put pen to paper, sign something, make it real. Like I said, there's something about just that, the act of signing the contract, the act of making the payment that changes the way we look at things. So even with the best of intentions, we can fall flat. We're human. And the world's best all have coaches. And so my recommendation to you as a coach, as a leader, as somebody in your communities and in the fitness industry, looking to, pave the way and leave a legacy. My recommendation is to go out and seek more growth. Ripples make waves, and it's been a big belief of mine that, each of us can do a little bit and make a big impact. And so the more we can work on ourselves, the bigger those waves are going to get. And so that's my challenge for you for 2022. we will see you in the next episode. Thanks. Have a great one.